Hello, Anjani.
Hi, Uncle.
We can hear each other. That's good. So we are live now. Yeah, for those of us who don't know me and Anjani, I'm from Canberra, and Anjani is from Sydney for today. So what we could do today, Anjani, is we'll talk about the topic of the day, which is Sahaja and genes, and then I was hoping you could give self-realization for the seekers who come for the first time, and then I'll lead a little bit of a guided meditation, and then we close. Sounds all right?
Yep.
So today I was going to play a speech where Srimati talks about Sahaja Yoga and genes, and she makes these very big claims. And the speech is from 1995, and the claim is that with Sahaja Yoga you can actually change the genes, which is something I didn't grow up knowing with. When we were kids, they said, genes pretty much determines what you are. So that was also an interesting, that had an interesting corollary in the family, that if my dad used to say, my dad used to be kind of angry guy, so that's where I got it from. So it's almost like you're resigning yourself for the fact that whatever has been passed through genes, you just stick with it for the rest of your life, and so on. Did you have any thoughts about that?
Yeah, like what I kind of was feeling or thinking when I was listening to the speeches about how another thing that Shimadaji mentioned in that speech a lot is how you're born again with Sahaja Yoga. So this idea that with Sahaja Yoga, with this kind of realization that you're more than what you think you are, that you can be the spirit, that then you move beyond such things that you might put to limit you mentally or even genetically, so that you have this capacity to evolve beyond that kind of thing. And it's something that I've seen a lot with people that practice Sahaja Yoga, because we live in a world where we really like to define things and put a label on everything. We say, I'm like this because my mom's like this. I'm like this because I live in this area. I'm like this because I'm from this country. But then with Sahaja Yoga, it removes that limit and allows you to go, actually, I'm not anything and I can define what I want to be. And even beyond that, I can be a person without definition. So I can have infinite capacities and infinite possibilities in who I am and what I can do. Obviously not, I can fly, maybe is going too far, but I don't have to keep reacting in a certain pattern. I can actually move beyond that pattern. And those subtle things, the like subtle changes that we then give ourselves the capacity to make through the introspection that we can do with Sahaj meditation, that is really the true superpower beyond things like flying. It's that subtle thing that just adds a bit of extra depth to our character and extra depth to our lives.
How I was thinking when you're saying, there's no limit to what we can do, infinite capacity, and what is our superpowers. That all sounds very egotistical to me. So what that means is, don't I then express to other human beings that, hey, I'm so much better than you?
It can be in that way, but it's more like I can be anything, but it's not even the I. It's I can be part of this bigger and like more pervading energy. It's not so much I'm great in terms of it's my achievement to be great, but I can more easily also give back maybe to like what's around me.
You're saying that you're great in the sense of that you can, because you're great, you can contribute to the collective more than blow your own trumpet.
Yeah, it's not so much to blow your own trumpet. It's that like you want to be a better person, not so that you can tell everyone that you're a better person, but because it benefits yourself and then it also benefits people around you. So you don't want to be the best compared to everyone, but you want to be the best that you can be.
Mm. Yeah, that makes sense. So you want to be better because you can take the collective forward, which is kind of interesting at the moment, looking at the world politics and all this bombing happening. So I work in this field of health analytics. So one of the things that comes quite a lot is the socio-economic factors. So which is if somebody is in a certain environment, that environment affects their health outcomes, their study outcomes, and so on. And so what that is also saying that, so if you take the same person and put in a better environment, they perform better. So this person, for example, let's say he was born in a poor neighborhood, and if we do this all, if we repeat this gene thing quite a lot, like, oh, we are simply cells and products of our forefathers, then it's so what is the opposite word for aspirational, opposite of, it's so sort of depressing. Huh? What's that?
Demotivating.
Demotivating, yes. So and that happens a lot in the health sector, where we, what we call is the indicators. So, oh, people who live in this area, they always have these problems. They always have these problems. They always have these problems, and you repeat it every single time in a report or something. And I realized after listening to Shimataji that you can actually do a lot more damage. On the surface, you might say, oh, by knowing that, we as a government can put more money and help. But when you repeat this thing internally, it's very hard. And sort of, there is a scripture called the Ramayana in the Eastern philosophy. Funny enough, the person who wrote it used to be a roadside thief. And imagine that person being told, don't worry about it. You can't write all these things. You're a thief. Your father was a thief. Your grandfather was a thief. And we would have missed out on a lot of these things. So I like what you said in that sense, that I'm very good at whatever I do because I'm contributing to the same direction of the world, so to say. In particular, did you feel anything um, that Srimataji said, um, that you could relate to your own experience?
Um, she spoke a lot about like healing people with Sahaja Yoga. So I know like I've had family members that have had like significant health issues, and because of Sahaja Yoga, they really were able to get through it. And um whether that's because of the vibrational support of Sahaja Yoga, but also the personal resilience that Sahaja Yoga can give you, because it through meditation and through daily practice of meditation, you're perhaps strengthened mentally then to be able to face um whatever significant health issue you're kind of feeling. Um, but then also the subtle support that you get vibrationally from this energy, the Kundalini energy that we talk about in Sahaja Yoga, that as well, and how that also maybe because you're meditating and then you're focusing on that energy, and that's taking primacy, that you're able to then move beyond physical capacity or physical limitations of um like it takes less of a precedence, less of a control over your life kind of thing. It was something that I was kind of trying to um put together with what Mother was saying, and then also what I've seen with family and with friends who have had these kinds of experiences.
So in what you mentioned, you said that we're not defined purely by our mental faculties. When we hear of people doing extraordinary things, almost like that David and Goliath sort of stuff. It's
Mhm.
beyond that mental and physical. Okay. So I was thinking we could start with Shrimataji's speech and then go to the next part. All right. right, we can play the speech now. We can go off the video.
Of course, in Indian scriptures, it is very vividly, clearly talked about. But there too, people would not accept it. There was a great poet who wrote in Marathi language. Because about Kundalini was written 14,000 years back, then in the 6th century, and Adi Shankaracharya wrote. But even when in the 12th century this great poet Ganeshwara wrote about Kundalini, they just tortured his life. Tortured him, tortured his sister, brothers, everyone who were full of knowledge. So he went into permanent samadhi, they say, living samadhi at the age of 23 years. But the books he has written are of such high level spirituality that's so joy-giving and so beautiful. But what people did to him is today again they have started doing to reality. Instead of saving people, telling them what is written in these books and what were the incarnations who wrote, instead of helping them to ascend, because this is a special time which they don't realize. They are so busy with their organization, so busy with discussions, arguments. Now recently, as you know, there has been a horrible declaration that a person whose genes are not all right cannot be condemned. So what is the use of any religion? What is the use of having any federal laws? It's all absurd. Scientists also come to conclusions which are stupid. Actually, genes have, as I must tell you a little bit scientifically, has a database. And this is in a series because there's nitrogen, phosphate, and carbohydrates in a cell. And these series, if they change, then people take to perversity, to wrong type of life. But if they are all right, then a person is a normal person. According to the scientist, they are born with it, they are inherent, they are genetic. It's not true. It's not absolutely true. They may be. But many people you know say, if your son you send to some place in America, he can get spoiled completely. His genes can be changed. A father who is a drunkard, his son may not be a drunkard. It's so obvious. Even the chromosomes which are responsible for our body growth can be changed. If somebody is a hot-tempered person, his face will change from his childhood to this, look like a monster. If a person is a monster, and if he comes to Sahaja Yoga, he looks like an angel. What happens? Actually, in Sahaja Yoga, the series of these series of these different things, see, if they are changed, if they are disturbed, are corrected completely. How? The Kundalini that is within you, she nourishes. She gives the balance. She understands. She knows you. She knows all your past. She is your individual mother. And she corrects. We have people here, I must tell you today, we have people who have been criminals, who have been drug addicts of the worst type, who have been drunkards, who have been also, we can say, like prostitutes, adulterers. All sorts of people came to Sahaja Yoga, and they are like angels. Believe, they have become like angels. They don't have to fight anything. They have become, means it's an actualization of the experience. It's not just talk, and go and read this book and go and read that book. No. It's beyond words. Adi Shankaracharya has called as Shabda Jalam, meaning the web of words. Oh, Mother, take me out of these web of words. Now, all chaotic conditions are existing. You don't know what's happening in this world now. I mean, 50 years back it was not such a bad word. But what has happened with all this advancement, with all this growth, with all this science, where are we? We don't know ourselves. We say this is my body, this is my intelligence, these are my emotions. But who is the owner of this mind? What is that? And that is what we have to become, that we have to become the spirit. It's not like having a certificate, having a born again. It's just a false certificate. When you are born again, what you feel, you know that now, that you feel this all-pervading power of divine love. It is love, it is compassion which you feel. Actually, a human being is at the epitome of evolution. He is so beautiful and so glorious, so lovable. But we have made him into a sex point. This Mr. Freud and this Sartre and all these people, they have reduced you to this level and we accept it. All this we accept. Have we got no brains to understand? Have we got no personality to understand? That we just get driven to all these mad people telling you anything? So, I have to tell you that human beings are so much ready to be in the kingdom of God. They have to just enter in. They have to have just willingness to do it. You cannot force it on anyone. Can you force a seed to produce a tree? Cannot. It's a living process of our evolution, and now this is the last breakthrough that we have to achieve. But people are so much lost. There was one gentleman who had written a book about the last breakthrough, this, that, and when I met him, I found he's completely finished. You can't give him realization. He's lost with the words. He wrote such a book, but he's not seeking the truth. You should not accept anything which has not given you the absolute truth. With Sahaja Yoga, you know absolute truth. How? You put your hands out when you have got your realization. You can feel on your fingertips your centers. Then you can feel the centers of others also. It's not only that you feel the centers of your own, but also of others. Because a new dimension has come in human awareness, which we call as collective consciousness. It is to be actualized. It has to work out. But if you go on, say, challenging, it won't. Why not have it? You don't have to pay anything for it. It's a living process. How much do we pay to the Mother Earth? We are so much used to payment. Even in the church, even in the temple, even in the mosque, everywhere, we think we should pay. People don't understand that this is a living process of divine love. How much are we going to pay for love which is divine? So first of all, we should give up this idea that you have to pay for something. Then secondly, you have to understand that seeking is not through ritualism. You stand on your heads, or you hit somebody, or you do all kinds of these tantrums. There's no need. You have to be respectable. When you want your freedom, you don't have to do anything. It just works out. Believe me, it works out. No credit to me either. No obligation to. It's your own. Only thing we can say that in my presence it works out. But then in your presence it will work out also. That is how now, do you know, Sahaja Yoga is spreading in 65 nations. And these democracies where we are living, thinking very, very free people, you are not. Just face it. We are not. Because we are possessed by money, we are possessed by materialism. But in Russia I was surprised, where we should say the government was horrible and they were suppressed and all that, but people have no sense of possessiveness. And they are the best, even they are scientists. About 250 people came, scientists, and told me, Mother, we'd like to hear what you have to say. I started on science, I thought better take them to science, otherwise how will they follow me? You'll be amazed. They said, no more science, we know all that. You tell us the science of God. So this materialism has crippled us completely. We want to possess this, possess that. They do not. They were told that you can have your flats. Government is willing to give you your houses and flats, we don't want to look after them. They said, we don't want. We don't want any flats, we don't want any house, nothing. Because we can't look after them. Can you imagine? So in a way, that curse of communism has improved them, and this blessing of democracy has created democracy. I can see it clearly. You go to Russia, it's very different. You see people who are really absolutely pure people. How is it? In those horrible circumstances, with those sufferings that they have had, they have come out so well, and how they can understand that they have to find out the truth. About everything you can find out whether it is absolute truth or not. The main point is, if you don't have the absolute truth, any idea you can fix up in your head and start doing wrong things. Like Hitler. He got the wrong idea into his head, saying that, it's funny, that the Jews must be killed. Now, he started killing the Jews. But imagine. And he said that they are a superior race. By what measure are they superior? By what measure? If somebody is superior in this world, what we think of saints who are superior to us. But these people killed small children in the gas chamber and watched it. How can they be superior race? So get some idea into their heads that this is something we are great, we are a superior race, we are chosen ones, we are on the path of Christ. All wrong. Just believing into yourself in a wrong way, we can go to hell directly. First of all, know who you are. If you don't know who you are, how can we decide? How can you see the truth? Because you are not yourself. You might be Mr. Freud, you might be Mr. Sartre, you might be somebody else. Are you yourself? This is the most important thing. I'm happy you all are here and you are seeking the truth. This is the greatest blessing of modern times, that people are, so many of them are seeking the truth. But you should not be misled. One gentleman who's writing some very frivolous books about, about all kinds of nonsense, and he came to our program, I think, and he wrote that I was waiting and waiting for 1 hour, but Sri Mataji never came, because that's the style we have. First we have to prepare your mind, little bit soothe it down, because you are now coming from all kinds of problems. So just to soothe it down, we work it out for 1 hour, like that. It's compulsory. But here in this place, one fellow writes against me saying she never came. And then she said, you take out your shoes, that settle it. That's the biggest crime I have told him to do. As if I have told him to kill somebody or what. So if you're such frivolous people, how will it work out? You see, it's not meant for frivolous people. I must say that so many have now got this realization and are settling, just like beautiful gems in Sahaja Yoga, so many, that I'm sure there will be many more who will be coming. Because first time when I came to England, I had to struggle with 7 of them for 4 years. And here you will get your realization in no time, I know that. Because on the whole, it has, from all the sides, is grown even in England. So one has to understand that you don't belong to anyone, but you belong to the kingdom of God. And once you enter there, there are so many miracles that take place that you'll be amazed. People have written letters after letters, Mother, this miracle took place, that miracle took place. And I told somebody, Mama, you write it down, all this, in a book. Within 1 month, he tells me, this has gone over my head now, both piles. Now you select and tell me what to write. I said, better not. Better not write. It's absolutely not necessary. When people will see themselves and enjoy themselves, they will get the best. I mean, I don't know how to tell you some miracles that have taken place in Sahaja. It's impossible even to think that such miracles can take place. There was a lady in Mexico, this is the latest. She was working in UN in America, where she met me, and she became a great Sahajogini. She had great faith in herself, real faith. And when she went to her son, he was suffering from a disease which is quite inherent and is absolutely fatal. Most of the people in her family got it at a very later age, but this boy got it when he was studying. And she was quite worried. It's very surprising. She wrote to me 3 letters, Mother, what should I do? Should I bring this boy there? He's so young. Or should I come to you? All kinds of things. I was very busy for these 3 weeks. She wrote 3 letters. 4th letter came on the 4th week that mothers amazingly, they took his examination and test, and all were negative, is completely cured. But I didn't do anything. I didn't do. It's the divine which looked after her, because it became like a challenge. I don't know how. And the child is completely cured. It's a fact. I'm not telling you a lie. And I don't want to tell you. But I'm just telling you so that you should also try to accept that you have to ascend. Only this much. You have to accept that you have to ascend. That will work out tremendously. There are
Would you like us to take us through this self-realization process, Anjali? I can share the steps. Can you see them?
So we'll just start by first making sure that we're sitting in a comfortable position. And as we can see on the screen, there's the diagram of where we're going to put our hands. And as we put our hands on these placements, so we're putting our hands on the left side of our body, in certain areas that correlate with chakras or energy centers within us, we'll say a particular affirmation that relates to the quality that that energy center gives us or represents. And so as we do this, we'll keep our left hand just lying open, and we'll be using our right hand and then placing it on our left side of the body. So to start with, you may want to close your eyes and put your hand on your left heart. And here we'll begin by asking, so we begin by asking questions. So we ask, Mother, am I the spirit? And when we say mother, what we're doing is we're addressing the Kundalini, or that energy within you, and you're asking it to kind of awaken within this process. So you ask, am I the spirit? Mother, am I the mind? Am I the body? Or am I in fact the spirit? What is the truth? Who am I really? Am I these things that I tell myself that I am? Am I these things other people tell me that I am? Or am I beyond all of that? Am I really the spirit? Am I part of a greater collective consciousness? And we'll move our hand lower. So this is the center that relates to self-mastery, or what we call the guru principle, guru being the teacher. So where we get this quality of being able to be our own teacher. And so here we ask, Mother, am I my own master? Mother, am I really in control of myself? Can I control what I do, or am I controlled by other people? Do I have my own free will? Am I my own master? And we move that hand lower. So as you can see the diagram, it's kind of where your hip or your legs kind of meet your torso. And this is the center of knowledge. So here we ask, Mother, please give me the pure knowledge. Please give me the truth. Please show me what is true and help me move beyond everything that I think may be true, all of these mental projections. Please give me the pure knowledge. And now, having asked for this, we move our hand back up to the upper part of our torso, kind of where the rib cage ends on the left side. And now here we respond to our earlier question from before. And we affirm, Mother, I am my own master. I have free will and I'm in control of myself. I am responsible for my own actions and I am my own master. And then we move our hand higher to the left side of the chest. And again, here we answer our question from before and we affirm, Mother, I am the spirit. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am the spirit. And then we move our hand to the left side of where the neck meets our shoulder. And this is the center of guilt. So here we say, Mother, I am not guilty. I am the spirit, so how can I be guilty? I am not defined by my past actions. I do not wait or think or rely on my guilt. But because I am my own master and I am the spirit, I can learn from my mistakes and I can move beyond my mistakes. I am not stuck in guilt. I am not guilty. And now we move our hand up, we put it on our forehead. And you may want to lean your head down and kind of place it into your palm, so your palm is supporting your head. And here we will say, Mother, I forgive everyone. Anyone who I spend my time thinking that they have wronged me, all of those kinds of thoughts that occupy myself, I relinquish them because I forgive everyone. And I also forgive myself. I move beyond these stagnating thoughts and I forgive. And we can put our hand on the back of our head. And again, we might want to lean our head backwards so that it's resting in our palm. And here now we'll also ask Mother, so ask that divine energy, please forgive me if I have made any mistakes. Please grant me forgiveness for those mistakes. And finally, we put our hand on the top of our head. And you kind of want the center of your palm to be in the center of your head, the fontanelle bone area, which was the area that's soft when you were a child. And it's kind of flex your hand a bit, so it's just the palm making contact with your head. And you may even want to put some pressure. And then with this pressure, you can also start moving your scalp a little bit in gentle clockwise circles, slowly. And as you do this, you can say, thank you, Mother, for our realization. Thank you for giving us this knowledge and this ability to move beyond our past, to be our own master. And this knowledge that I am the spirit, so that I can move beyond guilt, so that I may forgive other people, so that I may forgive myself, and also so that I may be forgiven. Thank you for this gift, Mother. Thank you for my self-realization. In a moment, you may want to lift your head a little bit above that spot and see if you can feel anything. You might feel a cool breeze. You might also feel heat, or you might also feel nothing. And all of these sensations are completely fine. But you can also check with your left hand. So if you put your right hand down again and then put your left hand and kind of float it on top of your head and see if you can feel anything. And we'll keep our attention on that spot where we were putting pressure before. And then stay in this meditative state as we start our guided meditation.
We can now drop our right hand towards the ground. You're sitting on the floor, you can place your right palm on the earth. Here you can say, Mother, please remove all the desires that take me away from my spirit. Mother, please let me remember the only pure desire, which is to know my spirit. You can take a deep breath and try and hold the breath a little, and then breathe out. You can all do this a few times. While you do that, you can repeat in your hearts, Mother, I am the pure spirit. Mother, I let go of all the false identities I have formed. Mother, I am nothing but the pure spirit. Put your right hand on the heart. For a moment, acknowledge the spirit in you. You put your right hand back on the lap. Lift your left hand towards the sky a little bit like this. Your hand bending at your left elbow. Your fingers pointing towards. Mother, please let me detach from all futuristic thoughts and actions. Mother, please let me be in the present. And say that several times. Mother, please let me be in the present moment. Mother, please let me be in the present moment. Your thoughts have taken you elsewhere and you wandered. Just remind yourself that you are the pure spirit and that you want to be in the present moment. Bring your left hand back on the lap. And we put our right hand on top of the fontanel bone. And we thank Srimataji for providing us this gift of self-realization. And we say, Mother, please establish my self-realization. Mother, please integrate with me my thoughts and my being with the collective subconscious. Bring your hand back to the lap and let your attention stay on top of your head. You will now try and stay in this state. While keeping your eyes closed, now just notice, observe how you're feeling on your palms and how you're feeling on top of your head. Now, if you feel the sensations of warmness or coolness, what it indicates is that the Kundalini within yourself, within the base of your spine, has established the connection with the all-pervading power and is trying to help you clear off any imbalances you may have. We'll continue to meditate in this state for a few more minutes. Slowly open our eyes. And that's all we had for today. So if you can, so we'll do these sessions regularly, as some of you know and some of you don't. So I thought I'll just show you the website where you can find these previously recorded sessions. So I'll just share the screen. So if you go to this website, meditateforfree.au, and you scroll down and then click to the YouTube channel, you can go there. You can also join the WhatsApp community there, and on the you can subscribe. The normal way to subscribe a YouTube channel, and then you'll be sent updates. Yeah, thanks for joining us, and thank you, Anjali. See you next week. Bye for now.